us now. All right, Patrick, what is your sense of this election as it stands today?
First of all, Jesse, it's great to be back on with you. Look, if you look at one poll, it's the most credible poll from the last one when you look at when Trump won in 2016, Atlas Intel. They were the best at predicting pre and best at predicting post, okay? Right now, they have Trump plus 3.6 nationally, 3.6 nationally. Forget about the battleground states. By the way, the best predicted, the ones that got it wrong the worst out of all the pollsters, CNN, WAPO, and LA Times, all the way at the bottom. So if we trust Atlas Intel, Trump's going to be dominating. Now, here's a couple other things that we got to be thinking about. Nobody is surprised the fact that she's hiding. Nobody is surprised that she wants to do the debate. No one's surprised that she doesn't want to do it with you guys, Fox News, or maybe other places. It's got to be the CNN, the ABCs, all those things. But the basic thing is policies. It's very easy right now. 4 years, we have to show what Trump did. 4 years, we have to show what Kamala and Biden did with their administration. And now they want to come out and talk about a $4 trillion tax increase that they're going to be imposing, saying, yeah, if you're making less than $400K, you have nothing to worry about. They want to tax unrealized gains of billionaires because they have money with people over $100 million. Let's just say you do that with 25%. You know what the business owner is going to do? You know what the billionaire is going to do? They're going to say, hey, let's go up 25% of employees. We got to fire a bunch of other people. Next thing you know, market tanks. And then think about the 62-year-old person, 64-year-old person who's got $750,000 in their 401k, thinking about retiring. What if that 750 goes like this to 375 because of market tanks due to bad policies with Kamala? That 64-year-old person that was about to retire in a year has to work till 75 years old. That's what bad policies do. They have bad consequences, and her policies carries no weight with anybody today.
And the market is the only thing keeping Biden-Harris afloat right now. If that goes, which it would under her tutelage, everybody gets hammered, and it's just an absolute catastrophe. I love seeing Trump talk about John Deere. That's what got him elected in 2016, forcing American companies to do the right thing, do the patriotic thing, do right by the American worker. Come here, come to America, make things in America, and pay a fair wage. If he can focus on that message, that pro-worker message, the sky's the limit.
I agree. And I think whatever the advisors are saying lately, they're on point. Stay playing this game. The debate not taking place, he doesn't need to do it. He's done two already. If he chooses to do so, I think it's always good because he's the better debater. He's not somebody that, slacks when it comes down to debating. And the one thing we have to remember, go back to 2020 when Kamala debated Biden. And I'm talking primaries. She crushed it in the first debate. When she looked at Biden like this, and everybody's like, whoa, look at what Kamala did. She went up. After the second debate, she had a fall like the Atlanta Falcons against the New England Patriots, 28-3. It wasn't even funny. And then obviously they came back. So I think even if Trump considers doing it, let's just say he changes his mind because he's had a track record of all of a sudden saying, you know what, I'm going to do it. And we're going to do it on these terms. And maybe he's negotiating right now. If he does, I also don't think it's a bad idea.
No, and that would kind of be the trajectory we've always seen from Harris. She starts off strong and then she fades. So I could see it happening exactly as you predicted it. Patrick Bet-David, Value Entertainment, thank you so much. Great analysis. Good to have you back. Joe Biden's no longer running for president, but is he still running the country? Not sure. He spent most of the summer at the beach and hasn't held a full cabinet meeting in almost a year. Well, until Friday, when he let his wife run the cabinet meeting, which is weird because nobody voted for Dr. Jill, just like Kamala Harris. Imagine if Melania led a cabinet meeting while Trump was president. They'd make the military medevac Trump to Walter Reed for emergency testing. But Biden's still being Biden. Here he is, forgetting how to introduce the man behind him.
I want to thank you all for being here. And now, who am I introducing next?
The Prime Minister of the Republic of India.
After 4 years of this, the press lost its patience.
But there's going to be plenty of opportunities. It's not like we're not allowing all of you to see many other things that are going to develop throughout the day. I mean, I just went through them. A quad family photo. He's going to take them to his high school.
One photo ops. That's what you've created. They're not a press conference, which we would prefer.
What baffles people in this room, especially for those who are watching this and wondering why on earth do we harp on these kinds of things, what baffles us is this is a president who from day one committed to be the most transparent president possible.
This is the same group of people who up until the bitter end swore that Joe Biden had another 4 years in him. Kamala did too. She was one of the chief architects of the Biden cover-up. And now that he's on the way out, the press is now covering for her. But if we see Dr. Jill in the Situation Room, there's going to be a big problem. Senator Ted Cruz joins me now. You know, it's funny to make fun of Senator, but how dangerous is this situation right now with Joe Biden and Dr. Jill running things?
Look, it is terrifying. You look at that press conference where he was introducing the Prime Minister of India, and he stood up there and he says, "Who's next? Who's next?" He doesn't know where he is. And watching that, the reaction that our allies have, the reaction that our enemies have, is who the hell's running America? That is frightening. And I don't think it's Jill Biden, but I got to say that is bizarre. I've never seen a first lady presiding over a cabinet meeting. And it's the president's not able to do it. And the answer is it's Kamala Harris, and it's the radical extreme who have been in favor of this open borders, this out of control spending, this extreme agenda for 4 years, and this agenda is hurting the American people. Everything Kamala Harris has supported for 4 years, she's running away from now, and she's trying to pretend she's Donald Trump because the Biden-Harris agenda has hurt the American people.
Are the same people that control Joe Biden going to be the same people that control Kamala Harris? Is it like one guy, or is it just a bunch of unelected bureaucrats who will never know their names?
Look, Jesse, I'll give you the most terrifying answer. I don't know. I genuinely don't know who is running things. I'm in the United States Senate. Republican senators sit around at lunch. None of us know. It's some combination of Barack Obama and Kamala Harris and the radicals in Congress. It is Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and AOC and Bernie Sanders. But what we know is the extreme agenda, whether it is Kamala, unlike Joe Biden. Joe Biden's a puppet. Kamala Harris is a true believer. She believes in this stuff. And look, in my race, I'm running for re-election in Texas. Colin Allred is a radical leftist, just like Kamala Harris. He's voted 100% with Nancy Pelosi his first 4 years in office. But I got to tell you, Jesse, Chuck Schumer and George Soros are flooding cash into the race. They're spending over $100 million. We just had a poll come out last week that had me losing the race by 1 point. So I want to urge your viewers, go to tedcruz.org, tedcruz.org. I need your help because $100 million on the left is trying to flip Texas. So I need you to go to tedcruz.org, give 25 or 50 or $100 so we can defend Texas and defend the whole country.
I don't think the great people of Texas are going to let that happen. Senator Ted Cruz, thanks as always. Good luck. The growing police officer was killed by a drunk driving illegal alien. Senior national correspondent Kevin Cork has the story. Kevin.
Evening, Jesse. Charges have been filed against an illegal alien accused of drunk driving in an accident that caused a crash and killed a St. Louis police officer over the weekend. Of course, as you mentioned, it's Officer David Lee, God rest his soul. He was killed Sunday morning after responding to a one-vehicle crash on eastbound I-70 around 8:30 in the morning. Guy was just 44 years old. Now, according to St. Louis police, the driver has been identified as 24-year-old Ramon Chavez Rodriguez. Cops say he was driving at least 71 in a 55 zone when he crashed into the back of Officer Lee's patrol vehicle as he was trying to retrieve some traffic cones from his trunk as he was attempting to work a separate traffic accident. Meanwhile, a Border Patrol agent became the victim of a frightening assault near Sunland Park, New Mexico, as he attempted to apprehend a migrant for crossing the border alongside several others. Now, that migrant, Jesse, punched him and also took a bite out of the agent's face as he was being led to a transport vehicle. Now, according to Border Patrol authorities, the agent's injuries are not life-threatening, and the suspect was arrested. Although he remains unidentified, he was arrested for assault and illegal entry into this country. And here's the worst part, my friend. This is part of a devastating trend that's seen the number of assaults in the El Paso sector alone on Border Patrol agents go from 46 in all of 2021 to more than 70 this year alone. Bad news indeed, my friend.
Bad news. Thank you so much, Kevin.
You bet.